My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let me begin with a question that might make some of us uncomfortable. Why are so many talented, capable people chasing jobs yet feeling empty, frustrated and stuck? Why do we prepare our entire lives just to impress an employer, but forget to prepare our hearts to impress Allah? Today, I want to remind myself and you of a powerful shift in mindset. Don't go after jobs anymore. Start going after purpose, value, and trust in Allah. Instantly, my dear brothers and sisters, let us pause for a moment and reflect deeply on where we place our trust. Many people wake up every morning with anxiety in their hearts, not because they are lazy, but because they believe their sustenance is controlled by a company, a manager, or a contract. Let me remind myself and you with absolute clarity, risk does not come from a job, a boss, or a system. It comes only from Allah. The job is nothing more than a door, and Allah is the one who decides which doors open and which ones close. Think about this for a moment. How many people lost jobs yet did not lose their provision? And how many kept their jobs but lost their peace? This alone should wake us up. If your rizq was truly in the hands of people, then fear would be justified. But when you understand that Allah is our Razzaq, the ultimate provider, your heart begins to breathe again. You stop begging creation and start relying on the Creator. That shift changes everything. Your confidence, your decisions, and even the way you walk through life. When a person believes their job is their source, they become desperate. They tolerate humiliation, compromise values, and live in constant fear of losing what was never theirs to begin with. But when you know Allah is in control, you work with dignity. You give your best, not to please people, but to please Allah. And here is the powerful part. Allah never abandons those who rely on Him sincerely. He may test you, yes, but He will never starve you. Let us be honest with ourselves. The same Allah who provided for you before you had a degree, before you had experience, before you even knew how the world worked, is He suddenly unable to provide now? That thought alone should shake the heart. Provision is not limited by markets, economies, or trends. Allah provides for the bird that leaves its nest hungry every morning and returns full every evening. The bird does not sit in the nest waiting, and it does not panic about tomorrow. It moves and Allah provides. This belief frees you from fear-driven living. You stop chasing jobs like they are saviors, and instead you chase excellence, honesty, and effort. You apply, you strive, you learn, but your heart remains calm because it is anchored in Allah, not in uncertainty. When a door closes, you do not collapse because you know the one who closed it did so with wisdom. And sometimes, my brothers and sisters, the closed door was protection, not punishment. Once this truth settles in your heart, your life changes. You work harder yet worry less. You plan wisely yet sleep peacefully. You stop asking, what if I lose my job? And start asking, how can I please Allah with my effort today? And when Allah becomes your focus, provision follows you in ways you never imagined. Ispeso Fenland von reward is undone ADDAYS Monday NJSCOM use some award is Latimero. Parfesumal and EJNG NJ and the Hawkes and he my dear brothers and sisters, let me challenge the way many of us were taught to think. From a young age we are told, get qualified so you can get a job. Rarely are we told, become valuable so you can serve the world. There is a big difference. When you chase employment alone, you wait to be chosen. When you build value, you become needed. And when people need you, opportunities come to your door without you begging for them. Ask yourself honestly, if you were to disappear from your workplace tomorrow, how easily could you be replaced? This is not to insult anyone, but to awaken something within us. The marketplace does not reward certificates alone. It rewards usefulness, reliability, and impact. Islam encourages ihsan, excellence in whatever you do. Whether you're a student, a worker, or an entrepreneur, Allah loves when you perfect your craft. When you focus on mastery, consistency, and character, you stand out in a world filled with shortcuts and mediocrity. Too many people spend years sending resumes while neglecting their skills. They complain about rejection but avoid self-improvement. Yet value is built quietly. By learning when no one is watching, by practicing when others are resting, by improving even when there is no immediate reward. This is where barakah enters your effort. When you sincerely develop yourself to benefit others, Allah places acceptance for you in hearts you have never met. Understand this clearly, money follows value, not the other way around. If you solve problems, simplify lives, and bring benefit, people will pay you willingly and respectfully. That is why some individuals create opportunities instead of chasing them. They invested in knowledge, communication, discipline, and trustworthiness. These are assets no employer can take away. A job can end overnight, but skill stays with you wherever you go. Islam never taught us to be passive consumers of opportunity. It taught us to be contributors. The Prophet said the best of people are those who are most beneficial to others. When you aim to be beneficial, your work gains meaning beyond the paycheck. You stop asking, who will hire me? And start asking, what problem can I solve with what Allah has given me? That question alone changes your direction. When you become valuable, fear begins to leave your heart. You no longer feel trapped or desperate because you know you have something to offer. You walk with quiet confidence, not arrogance, knowing your effort is sincere. Even if one door closes, another opens, because value is transferable. Skills travel, character attracts, excellence speaks without words. And in a world full of noise, the one who brings real value is never ignored for long. My dear brothers and sisters, one of the greatest misunderstandings today is the meaning of tawakkul. Many people say, I trust Allah, yet they make no effort, take no steps, and avoid responsibility. This is not tawakkul, this is wishful thinking. True tawakkul is when the heart relies fully on Allah while the body is fully engaged in action. You move forward with effort and you leave the outcome to the one who controls outcomes. This balance is what gives a believer strength and stability. Look at how fear stops people before they even begin. Fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of not being good enough. But ask yourself this, what is the worst that can happen if you try sincerely? You learn, you grow, you become wiser. The real failure is standing still while life passes you by. Allah does not ask you for guaranteed success, He asks you for effort. Results belong to Him alone. When this understanding settles in the heart, procrastination begins to disappear. The Prophet A taught us action before reliance. When a man asked whether he should leave his camel untied and trust Allah, the Prophet A replied, "Tie it and trust in Allah." That single statement carries a lifetime of wisdom. Do what is within your control, and then place your trust where it truly belongs. Planning, learning, striving, and improving are not signs of weak faith. They are signs of responsible faith. Many people delay starting because they want perfect conditions, the perfect time, the perfect resources, the perfect confidence. But perfection is an illusion that keeps you stuck. Growth comes from movement. Even small steps, when taken consistently, attract the help of Allah. When He sees sincerity in your effort, He places barakah in what little you have. A small action with Allah's support becomes greater than massive effort without His help. When you act with tawakkul, your heart remains calm even in uncertainty. You are not paralyzed by what-if thoughts, because you know that whatever outcome Allah chooses will be for your ultimate good. If you succeed, you are grateful. If you struggle, you are patient. If a door closes, you do not feel rejected, you feel redirected. This mindset protects your mental and spiritual health in a world full of pressure and comparison. Understand this deeply, Allah loves those who strive. Every step you take with sincerity is recorded, even if people never notice. Every late night of learning, every attempt that didn't work, every risk taken with halal intention carries reward. When effort and tawakkul walk together, fear loses its power over you. You stop waiting for motivation and start moving with purpose, knowing that Allah sees, Allah knows, and Allah never wastes the effort of those who rely on Him while doing their part. My dear brothers and sisters, we live in a time where success is measured by numbers alone. The size of a salary, the number of zeros in a bank account, the lifestyle displayed to others. But let me ask you a sincere question that deserves an honest answer. How many people are earning more than ever, yet sleeping less than ever? This is where we must understand the difference between income and barakah. Money without barakah may increase your expenses, your stress, and your emptiness, while a smaller halal earning filled with barakah brings peace, stability, and dignity. Barakah is not something you can calculate on a spreadsheet. It is the unseen blessing Allah places in your time, wealth, and effort. Two people may earn the same amount, yet one is constantly struggling while the other feels content and secure. Why? Because barakah multiplies what numbers cannot. When your income is halal, when it is earned with honesty, and when it does not cost you your salary, your values, or your character, Allah places a sweetness in it that no promotion can buy. Many people are tempted to compromise just a little. Just a small lie on a rale sume, just a harmless shortcut, just one unethical decision to move ahead faster. But shortcuts often lead to long-term regret. Wealth gained at the cost of conscience slowly drains your peace. You may smile in public, but anxiety follows you into your private moments. No amount of money is worth losing your connection with Allah. When that connection weakens, everything else begins to feel heavy, no matter how impressive it looks on the outside. Choosing barakah over bigger numbers requires courage. It means walking away from opportunities that look attractive but feel wrong in the heart. It means being patient when others seem to be racing ahead. But patience with integrity always pays, even if not immediately. Allah replaces what you leave for His sake with something better. Sometimes in wealth, sometimes in peace, sometimes in protection from harm you never saw coming. When barakah is present, time stretches, your limited income suffices. Your family feels secure, your heart feels light. You are able to give help and sleep peacefully at night. This is real richness. The Prophet reminded us that true wealth is not the abundance of possessions, but the richness of the soul. When your soul is content, you stop comparing, stop envying, and stop chasing what was never written for you. A believer who chooses barakah walks through life with quiet confidence. They may earn less, but they live more. They may own fewer things, but they carry greater peace. and in a world obsessed with accumulation, the one who prioritizes halal and barakah holds a success that never collapses because it is protected by the pleasure of Allah.